Hello, welcome back. I'm Lorenzo, and today I'm going to talk about my experience shopping for a sustainable wedding dress. So sustainable wedding dresses, what I'm looking for is something that's either already worn, or it's a sample gown that's kind of been discarded, or just like overstock from a bridal store. So it's not something new, and they're generally just dresses that maybe would have just been kind of thrown away. Now, to start, I had no idea what to expect. I guess I kind of thought that a lot of the dresses would be kind of run down and kind of gross. But pleasantly, I was surprised by the condition and really all the different kinds of options. So I did my shopping in Seattle, and there were two bridal shops that I looked at for dresses that did secondhand, sample, what have you, consignment dresses. The first place I went was actually the first place I tried on dresses at all. It was Blue Sky Bridal. Blue Sky Bridal says that it's a woman-owned business. It is for profit, and they have multiple locations on the West Coast in Seattle, Portland, and San Francisco. Their prices range from $500 to $5,000, but I found that most of the dresses that I tried on were from $1,200 to $2,200. They have a really awesome stylist there to help fit you, and they also pull dresses that they think that you would like. I found that super helpful because I don't know all the stock that they have, and after I tried on a couple dresses, they got a sense of what I liked, and that was super helpful with trying on more dresses. So the store's dresses are generally 20 to 65% off retail prices, which is awesome. And they had some really cool designers there, a lot of high-end gowns. So if you're looking for a deal on something more expensive to put it in your price range, I would really suggest this shop. So I tried on 10 dresses at this store, and I really liked a lot of them. Starting with the first one was a blush v-neck and tulle, and I wanted to try something on that was a color just to kind of see what that looked like for me. This one was just far too close to my skin tone, and it looked like I was wearing skin, so didn't love that, but the shape I thought was really nice. The next one was another v-neck tulle dress, but this one had like floral appliques on the outside layer, and it was really beautiful and actually fit really nice. It just wasn't my style. I found that the bold prints really just kind of stole the show, and I think I needed something a little more simple to have the focus be on me. The next dress was like a crepe A-line off the shoulder, and this one didn't really wow me that much when I had it on, but looking at the videos and pictures afterwards, I was like, wow, this was actually really gorgeous, super flattering, and this more simple style with kind of a slim silhouette I think looked particularly nice on my figure. The next dress was kind of like I call this like a sexy winery dress. For some reason, I'm getting those vibes from it. It was a really deep V, but it was narrow, so it was still kind of covered. And the bottom of the dress was such a statement with the lace. I thought the curves of the dress were really flattering, but again, this just wasn't my style. I feel like I like things that are a little more classic, and this felt a little more modern. The next dress was an A-line kind of satin v-neck, and this is like the kind of classic vintage silhouette styles that I really like. It reminded me a lot of like a Grace Kelly dress, and that's really what I love. But again, it just really didn't wow me. I liked the satin material, but it was just so plain in the front. I think I'd need to accessorize it or something. It just felt boring. Now, this next dress was one that really just like made me excited about the dress shopping. It was like a scoop neck kind of floral embossed dress. The pattern of the dress was very reminiscent of like 1940s pattern making. It was stunning. I loved the shape of the dress, and I loved the deep scoop in the back. It was super comfortable, and looking back, it kind of reminded me, I guess, of swimsuits that I would wear a lot. I used to be a lifeguard, so I wore a lot of swimsuits. And so I think that's why I made it really comfortable, but I really wasn't stunned by the material of the fabric. I didn't like the texture as much. I wish it was just like a satin. But this one got me excited for finding something that was a little more unique, which is what I was looking for. Unique, classic. those two things was what I wanted, and I think that's really confusing for people because they're kind of opposites. So yeah, it was a challenge. Okay, next dress. What number are we even on? I think we're on a 7. Yeah, number 7. Was another tulle v-neck. This one was also super deep, but I think because I don't have like a ton of boob and they're more on the sides, it looked okay and not super revealing. This one didn't really feel like my style when I tried it on, but looking back, I'm like, this is a gorgeous dress and it looks really nice on me. It had these chiffon tulle kind of flowy fabric bits on the shoulders going down behind. And I thought that was a fun detail, but I was just playing with them like a lot. And so I'm like, probably not good for me to have this when I'm trying to look regal on my wedding day. The next one was the same designer as that scoop neck dress that I really liked. Same fabric, just different shape. And I thought this shape was actually a lot more flattering than the scoop neck, especially looking at this video and pictures afterwards. I'm like, this one was like one of the most flattering dresses I tried on. It was gorgeous, but I'm pretty sure when I looked at the price, it was like $2,200, and that was just really out of my price range. So I wasn't really falling in love with it, I think, because of that. Again, I also didn't really like the embossed fabric that they used. I wish it was just a satin. This next dress was a sequin off the shoulder, very different from anything else I tried on, which I really appreciated, but I thought it was just really bad on me. I didn't love the mixed textures of like sequins and like this really chiffon floofy ruffle at the top. Didn't think it was particularly flattering either. I felt like a mermaid, so if that's what you're going for, this dress is for you. But I really appreciated that it was very different than the other things I was trying on. I was trying on a lot of A-line, and this was more slim fitted. So this last dress, was my absolute favorite from the store. It was gorgeous. There are some things I would change on it. Like we were talking about taking the crisscrossing out of it and just leaving it an open deep V. I think the crisscrossing looked a little Renaissance piratey, so that would be a really easy fix. It was kind of just tacked on there. It was not structural. The satin fabric I fell in love with on this, and the fabric was also so stretchy and comfortable. I loved the ruched details. It looked just kind of like wet, almost like wet fabric, and I really thought that was a really beautiful look. I liked that it was off the shoulder. I think having my like collarbone open is really going to be what I'm looking for. I think it just looks very flattering on me. I have a very long neck, so let's show it off. But yeah, I think ultimately why I didn't purchase this dress is because it was $2,000, which, you know, I ideally wanted something $500 or less, so I knew I probably wasn't going to get anything from the store. And also it was quite tight, and I guess I was a little self-conscious about how I looked in the photos afterwards. When I had the dress on, I thought I looked fabulous. I thought it was amazing. I felt really good in it. But also, like, my mom didn't really like the dress, and so I was like, oh yeah, okay, I see what you mean. I also kind of just wish the skirt just flowed out a little more and was less skin tight. But it was a gorgeous dress. Honestly, if it was $500, I probably would have bought it. But yeah, so overall, the store was awesome. I thought it had a lot of beautiful designer dresses there, a lot of different unique styles. I really appreciated the stylist helping me find dresses and put them on, and was really good at like clipping them so that I could really imagine what they would look like after they were tailored to me. But I didn't return to the store purely because I wanted to find a dress ideally under $500. My whole budget was $1,000, so I thought with tailoring I would probably want to stick around $500. So that's the only reason I didn't go back there. If I had a larger budget, I definitely probably would have wanted to find my dress there. So the next store was Brides for Cause, and they are a non-profit who donate, you know, most of their proceeds to charity. A lot of women's charities like domestic abuse, like finding just free dresses for military wives, things like that. So I really like the mission of Brides for a Cause. They also have several locations. So they have one in Seattle, Tacoma, Portland, and Sacramento. So lots of options for the West Coast folks. They definitely felt more like a thrift store for wedding dresses. So I love thrift stores, so I was already like, yes, let me find a gem. I'm excited. So you'll pull all your own dresses, and then you'll also put on your own dresses. So I had someone with me the 2 times I went there, so they helped me get into the dresses if I had problems. They also have an attendant there, so I guess if you're alone and ask for help, they'll help you, but that wasn't like, they don't demand it, you know, it's kind of up to you if you want their help. So the price range for Brides for a Cause seemed to be around $200 to $1,200. So much more in my price range. I was very excited about that. So generally they're 50 to 90% off retail prices. I will say that the dresses had more visible damage to them, or things that would need to be fixed. Say like a hook is missing, or like it's pilling a little bit, or like the beading has fallen off on this one spot. So that's something to consider. Most of the I guess dress issues I think would be able to be resolved with a tailor, or even with yourself if you're super handy. So I went to this location in Seattle twice. So I ended up trying 20 dresses. So let's go through them all. The first dress I tried on was this floral scoop neck kind of applique tulle. It was a A-line kind of ball gown look. It was a little hard for me to imagine because it was probably a size or two too big, so it didn't really cinch my waist the way I wanted. And I just thought it was a little too busy. It just wasn't the most flattering cut for me. The next dress was kind of more of a trumpet style, I would call it. It was a satin v-neck. It was too small, an obvious no, but I did like a lot of the facets of this dress. Especially like the slim fit. It just wasn't exactly the shape, I guess, that I liked. Like the skirt bothered me a little, that it was so stiff. The next dress was a sweetheart, chiffon-y, like very ball gown, princessy look. And I thought it was a nice dress. It just wasn't quite my style. I think I was starting to realize that maybe princessy dresses and like A-line ball gowns weren't the look that I wanted to go for. I think I wanted to go for something more, a little more sleek and less princess. The next dress was another A-line chiffon, but this one had more of like a retro vibe with the wrapped top off the shoulder, and that's very Grace Kelly kind of look, and that's what I thought I wanted. The problem with this dress is that it was too short, so that's something to consider with the secondhand dresses. If you're not getting a sample, they're more than likely hemmed for whoever wore it before you. And if you're on the taller side, or really just taller than average, like I'm not extremely tall, but I'm like 5'7", 5'8", and most people wearing wedding dresses are more in the 5'5", 5'6" range. So yeah, I actually ran into quite a few dresses that were too short and had to just be out of the running because of that. Like this next dress, it was also quite too short, like quite a bit too short. I really liked the vintage vibe of this one. I think if this one was altered to actually fit my waist, it'd really snatch and give me like a really nice hourglass look. But again, it was too small. So I was actually really sad because I thought this one actually could have been my dress if it had been the right length. So this next dress I tried on for funsies. It was crazy. It was the heaviest dress I've ever tried on. I call this the Duchess dress. It's a corset. There was like a corset within a corset to really snatch you. The back of the dress went on forever. It was crazy. But even though it was so heavy and it was a strapless dress, it didn't feel like it was going to come down. And I think that's because it was a corset. I was really nervous about strapless dresses because I thought they would just be falling off my boobs the whole time. But because they're designed in like a way to just suck you in, it supports from like here and it supports up rather than supporting from the top. So if you're worried about strapless, don't be if it's like kind of a corseted look. This next dress I picked just for variety. I hadn't tried on like a lacy beaded dress, and I was actually very surprised by how flattering it was. This sweetheart neckline really looked nice on me, and it wasn't something I thought I wanted. This whole dress was something I didn't think I wanted. It was the opposite of what I liked, with like a lot of lace, a lot of beading, but it actually looked gorgeous on me. And I didn't realize that until after, when I looked at the videos and pictures later. I was like, should this have been my dress? I mean, it looks so stunning and gorgeous, and yeah, I just didn't realize it till afterwards. So this one was a like really nice option. And I think that's why you should also always try on something that's like the opposite of what you think you're gonna like, so that you really know what looks good on your body. I really liked the slim silhouette. It wasn't, I mean, it was kind of A-line, but it was like a little bit slimmer than that because the fabrics just kind of just melted down into the ground. And again, that sweetheart neckline, I was surprised that I actually liked it a lot on me. Next, for more variety, I picked more of a slinky kind of slip dress. And I like slip dresses a lot in just like daily wear, so I thought I'd like this. No, I didn't like this one. It just kind of didn't flatter my body in the way I wanted it to. It was too low, it just too exposed. And I just thought the other dresses really showed my hourglass shape a little bit more. I think it was just a little too simple for what I was looking for. So this dress was another satin ball gown kind of A-line look, and I was kind of thinking at this time this is maybe what I was looking for, and I just hated the pleats at the front. It looked so odd. It had like a box in the front and it kind of looked like a loincloth, and yeah, I just really picked this one apart. It was also too big, so it was a little hard for me to imagine what it would look like fitted. It was gorgeous material. Like, I loved the satin material. It just, the shape wasn't my favorite. So the next one was another one that I was highly considering getting. It was form-fitted, kind of just barely flowed out there. It was a very interesting material. It was kind of like linen-like, so it wasn't super soft or silky, but it did have a shine. It was off the shoulder. I really like that look, and it was another sweetheart, which I guess I look good in now. Had a really nice like gentle train, and the button details down the back were gorgeous. I really liked this one. It was a little tight, but I was also like, I can just wear like Skims or something underneath and it'll be fine. Yeah, this one was really beautiful. I liked this one a lot. Next one was another one, experimental try on. It was a purpley pink dress, a giant tulle ball gown, and it was hideous on me. I think it would look lovely on someone else. I feel like a spider in this dress. It wasn't my favorite. I'm glad I tried it on though, because I really felt like I didn't want to color or tulle maybe after this. I think tulle just gave me all the wrong volume, and especially on top, I feel like I liked things a lot more slimmer on top. So that was a good one to try, but definitely a no. So that was all of the dresses for the first try on. Then about, I don't know, 2 months later, I went back again. So this dress on my second trip back, I just thought was beautiful, and honestly I really liked this one. I loved like the kind of corset that you could see through the top. I loved that it was a wrap, and I really loved the back detail. There was like a beautiful beaded detail in the back strap and like going down to where you kind of hook it in, zip it up. I thought that was beautiful. I think the downfall of this dress for me was it fit me, but it didn't actually fit. Like, I feel like it needed to be taken in at the waist, or something needed to be taken in and more form-fitted than it was, and I don't know that tailoring would actually solve that problem for me. So this next dress was another like more slim fit one. It kind of reminded me of the dress at Blue Sky Bridal that I really liked, the satin off the shoulder one, in terms of the way it fit my body. I thought this one was really flattering. It had the sweetheart neckline that I liked. It was a simple kind of just like crepe fabric, and had a little beaded belt of like pearls, which I really liked because I want to have a pearl veil. I just thought this one was really flattering. My concern with this one though was that it like just zipped up, like just barely fit me. And it kind of created a little back crack action because it was so tight right on my back. It fit my waist totally fine. It was just like that top part on my back was not exactly wide enough, so I was concerned about that. The next dress was another V-neck A-line, probably like my 5 millionth dress I've tried on that's this kind of shape. And this one fit me really well. I'd only need to like adjust the straps a little bit. And I think because it fit me so well, I was really into this one. I really considered it as an option. It was super comfortable, and I loved how deep the V was. It just wasn't my style in the end. I didn't love the appliques on it. It looked really nice and was really beautiful. I just don't love that look on my body in particular. So this one was hard because I really liked the shape. I just wish I could have changed the details on it. Also, just for a quick pricing reference, that one was $600. So I was also really attracted to the price. If I had tried that dress on probably new or at a different salon, it'd be at least $1,000. So that's why I really liked this store. The next one was kind of similar to the one that I tried on earlier with the Sweetheart and Slim Fit. This one was very slim fitted, very similar silhouette. It just had a very deep V in the back and the front. I just didn't think this one was as flattering. There's something about it that made me feel weird. I think it was the top, how it kind of like was curved into a V and then did a weird dip thing. I didn't love that. I felt just bad in this dress. Next one again was something of try something completely different, because I liked that one beaded Sweetheart dress. Maybe something like this will be good. And this one was the most beaded, most crazy dress I tried. It was actually absolutely gorgeous on the back. I loved the scoop. It was so flattering. It had really beautiful beaded kind of swooped details here to make it like faux cap sleeve. It was another Sweetheart. It was very flattering, I thought. I think the color was just wrong. It was too warm for me. So it looked kind of antique-y, and I didn't want an antique look. I want a vintage look. The next one was similar with the back detail, except totally different. But they are both low scoops. This one instead was all beads. It was draped and just like hung there just luxuriously. I called this one the Gatsby dress. It was very just ornate and beautiful. Honestly, it looks so flattering in pictures, and I didn't really realize that when I was trying it on. Now, I loved the back of the dress. The front of the dress I think was less flattering. It was a Sweetheart neckline, but I think it was just a little too high on my boobs. And also the dress front was corseted, and it kind of came down in a V where my belly button was, and it just kind of highlighted my stomach in a way I didn't love. It also didn't really cinch me in the waist, so I was kind of more straight up and down in this dress than like a curve, which is, I wanted to be curvy looking. The next dress I tried was a silver tulle kind of ball gown. And I tried this one on because I'd seen this one at Beholden, and I've seen it on eBay, so I knew like I could buy it elsewhere if I wanted to later. I just really wanted to try this one. Silver color was like magical on me. I thought it looked beautiful, and the sparkle was nice. It was very celestial, and it didn't really fit my venue as much, and I did kind of feel like I was going to prom instead of my wedding. I think it would look really nice if you had kind of like a moody theme for your wedding. Maybe it's gonna be outside under the stars or something. But that's not my wedding. Mine's Italian Villa Garden, so it didn't really fit the theme. The next dress did fit the theme. It was very like kind of beautiful lace Italian style. It also really nicely framed my back. The back of this dress was beautiful. Honestly, this dress is just a gorgeous dress. It felt too old for me. Like the front of it sat in a way that felt a little like I was getting married after I had kids. It just made me look a little frumpy. The back was beautiful, it's just the front didn't really do it for me. I also just wasn't a huge fan of like the big lace detail for my body. For some reason, more simple dresses I think looked better on me. Last dress I tried on, I put it on and then like immediately took it off. It just looked weird. I thought this honestly was the dress that I'd want. Felt like it was gonna be a beautiful satin Grace Kelly, like off the shoulder ball gown, and it just really fell flat, like so flat. I just like put it on and I was like, yep, take that off. It just did not feel right. Especially trying on the more slim fitted dresses. I just felt like I was hiding my body and I just felt like it just wasn't the one. So those were actually all the dresses I tried on. That was 20 of them. And yeah, I really liked both bridal salons. I definitely preferred Brides for a Cause just because of the prices, and it felt more like thrifting, which I really appreciated. If you're more into like the actual bridal experience, Blue Sky was kind of more of that normal bridal experience. So I actually ended up getting a dress from Brides for a Cause, and I really am happy with it. There are some minor details on it that I need to fix up, like a couple snags. I might need to kind of tighten some of the beading on it. But other than that, it's good. And I don't think I'll need to really do any kind of alterations, which is amazing. And honestly, that's probably the biggest reason I got it, is because alterations cost money. And that's a deterrent for me. But also trying on dresses that aren't your size, it's a lot harder to realize what they will look like, especially if you don't have the right clips in the right spots. So it just made more sense for me to buy something that was going to be more my size anyway, and I wouldn't have to really do anything to. I'm super stoked that I was able to find a dress. So the original price of the dress that I purchased was $2,000. The dress price at Brides for a Cause was $650, which I think was a fabulous price. But on top of that, I think it had been there for a while, so they had marked it as 50% off. So yes, I got my dress for under $400. It was, I think, $325 and then with tax, and also I got a like a garment bag for it. Ended up being just under $370. So well within my dress budget. I'm super excited. The little things that I have to fix, I think I can do myself, and I'll just need to get it cleaned and I'll be ready to be wed. I had such a great experience shopping in both of these stores. Highly recommend them if you're on the West Coast or in the area. And it's just really nice to be able to take your dress home with you. You don't have to wait months and months for it to be made. It's already there. You can look at it. I've tried it on multiple times after I purchased it, and it's only been like a week. So I hope this was informative, and I hope it maybe encourages you to look at more secondhand or, discontinued sample dresses. It's really great for the environment to be using things that are already made rather than ordering new. So if you're able to do that, that's awesome. Let me know if you were able to find a dress secondhand or for a crazy discount. I'd love to know those stories. It's so exciting for me. Love a deal. Subscribe below if you think this is fun content. I make videos every Sunday about kind of fashion, and I'm getting married, so there's going to be some wedding videos in there as well. And yeah, hope to see you next week. Bye!